Hi, Wes Scott from Kane and Scott. Today we're going to talk about what is a fraudulent transfer. Um, Again, there's transactions in bankruptcy that trustees can look at and sometimes void. And one of those is a fraudulent transfer. And if you look at under Section 548 of the Bankruptcy Code, it talks about fraudulent transfers. And basically, if you transfer something to somebody else without any value in return, within 2 years prior to filing bankruptcy, that's a fraudulent transfer. Now, there's fraudulent transfer statutes in Minnesota that go back 6 years. But in the bankruptcy code, we're talking about a 2 year look back period. If I gave my cousin Louie a $5,000 vehicle for nothing, well, if I file a bankruptcy, cousin Louie is probably going to hear from a bankruptcy trustee because I gave him that car for nothing and it was worth $5,000. And the trustee is going to want to look to cousin Louie for $5,000. And there's oftentimes deals that can be struck there. But that's a fraudulent transfer. Now, if I change the facts a little bit, you get a little different answer. Let's say I owed cousin Louie $5,000 and I gave him the car in exchange for resolving that debt. And I did that almost 2 years ago before I filed. Well, then it's not a fraudulent transfer because he wiped out a $5,000 debt I owed him in exchange for a $5,000 vehicle. But if there was no money owed to cousin Louie and I just gave him the car, then that is a fraudulent transfer that has to be disclosed. And we need to talk about cousin Louie hearing from the trustee, and maybe the debtor steps in to pay part of that too. Those kind of things can be agreed upon between cousin Louie and the debtor. That is a fraudulent transfer. It's giving something for nothing within 2 years prior to filing bankruptcy. Token gifts, I don't think trustees are going to care much about. We're not talking about a sweater at Christmas or something like that. Trustees are going to care more about sizable transfers when the time is right. When you're ready to get your life back, reach out to Kane and Scott. You'll be so thankful you did.